Welcome, welcome. Hello, happy Cancer New Moon to you all, and welcome to Medicine Buddha. Just see people coming in here. As you're coming in, first of all, my name's Renee. My pronouns are he, him. I am the community practice leader for tonight, for tonight's Medicine Buddha practice. And I invite you as you're coming in to introduce yourself in the chat, to share what lands you are zooming in from. And yeah, and also just to make yourself comfortable as we're gathering. It's gathering, people will continue to arrive. So just, yeah, inviting folks to introduce themselves. Let us know if you're here for the first time. Let us know where you're zooming in from. And Eric has put in the chat the link to the prayer request document. So please go ahead and start putting your prayer requests in. And also our information about Medicine Buddha, including the mantras. All right, thanks folks for starting to introduce yourself. And again, my name's Renee, my pronouns are he, him. I'm calling in from unceded Lejeune Ohlone lands in Oakland, California. And just happy to be here holding space for this community. It has been such a supportive community for me. Happy to come hold space. So we'll just get going. I'm going to give it another couple minutes. So as you're settling in, get your water, get your tea, introduce yourself, and we'll get started in just a couple minutes here. All right, see people coming in from all over. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. For anyone who has just joined, my name is Renee. Pronouns are he, him. I am on the unceded lands of the Lejeune Ohlone people in Oakland, California. And it's really, as we begin, I want to offer my gratitude and thanks for being held on these lands, for the support I receive from the lands and the people who have stewarded them for time immemorial, and who continue to be in relationship with the land and steward it into the future. And just a reminder that the links for the prayer requests are in the chat. Please add in your prayer requests at any point. and information there as well about the Medicine Buddha practice, including the mantras we'll be doing tonight. Yeah, so I'm just going to say a little bit about just where I am with my own Medicine Buddha practice, and very curious how other people's practice is going. And then we'll get into the mantras and the prayer requests, and we'll end kind of at or a little before 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, so I think just to say a tiny bit more about myself, I always feel like kind of a guest in this Bhumisparsha space, though actually I've been practicing here for most of the pandemic. So it is also one of my spiritual homes. My longest time spiritual home is the East Bay Meditation Center in Oakland, California. And I've been part of that community for maybe 15 years now, and am also a core teacher at the East Bay Meditation Center. And I teach in the Insight or Theravada lineage. So I also feel like completely unqualified to say anything about the practices we do here, other than just that I practice them. And I still feel like I am figuring them out. Like, what the heck are we doing? So I feel like I come to this very much as a newbie. I have really no background in practicing in Vajrayana or Tibetan practice, other than practicing with Medicine Buddha and other offerings that Lama Rod offers at Bhumisparsha. And so what's been interesting, and I think I said a bit about this the last time I came in as, a community practice leader here, as like I finally realized I was trying to understand something that is not so much a practice that is meant to be conceptually understood, but rather a practice that is to be embodied. And once I got that, which was pretty recent, I was like, okay, I have integrated these practices. They are a part of my body. And so I can speak out of that experience, even though I feel like I do not understand often what's going on and how it works. But it's happening. Do the practice and something is happening. And in particular, I've been really interested lately in kind of like what's happening with this chanting that we do. In particular here, we're at Medicine Buddha, we're doing the Medicine Buddha mantra, which I've been making a part of my daily practice. Like a daily practice that I don't do every day. That kind of daily practice for a little bit now. Still counts, I think, as a daily practice. Yeah, so like really curious, like what's happening in my body as I practice more and more with this Medicine Buddha mantra. I have some other mantras I work with. In particular, I've been working a lot with the Gayatri mantra, which I find very powerful. That's maybe the primary one I've been working with in the last 6 months or so. And just noticing the more I do it, the more I practice the Gayatri mantra. I mostly practice internally, which is to say silently. I play it in my mind rather than saying it out loud. The Medicine Buddha mantra I mostly say out loud. That each of these really works on me in different ways. And that there's an accumulation. Like I've been noticing the way that it accumulates as I do the mantra more, and curious if other people have had that experience. Yes, see some thumbs. Sharon, see you, I see some other thumbs. And yeah, so wow, there's something really powerful going on here. And I've also been, Tina Turner's really been on my heart over these last it's been almost 2 months since she passed, May 24th. And I was just watching the Tina documentary that's on Max, which is really beautiful. And she speaks about her practice in that. And it was so inspiring to me. You also kind of get to see her at her altar. You get to hear a little bit of her chanting. And so for folks, I don't know if folks might not be aware of this part of Tina's life. She is a Nichiren Buddhist. She was a Nichiren Buddhist, practiced for most of her life from, she was introduced to Buddhism when she was still married to Ike Turner. So she was probably in her 30s, I would say. And she started chanting, and in Nichiren Buddhism, or also referred to often as SGI, which is for, shoot, I'm forgetting. Maybe someone else remembers. Thank you, Eric. Chanting a mantra that connects with the Lotus Sutra. And there's also a lot of study of the Lotus Sutra in that lineage. She talks about this, beginning her practice of chanting, and then she was actually chanting 4 hours a day in those early years of her practice, which is pretty incredible. And she talks about how this faith and confidence built up inside her as she continued this chanting practice. And she was very dedicated, practicing in this very dedicated way. And that just so resonated with me. This piece of faith and trust and confidence. And I just thought that really is this embodied practice. Found that to feel really true in my own practice, and really inspiring. So, just to get back to where I started, happy Cancer new moon. I believe it was today, this morning. And so it was because I am feeling all the feels, and in particular, feeling a lot of sadness today. And so I was okay, all right, I'm on time. I'm in sync here with the sun and moon in Cancer, bringing it all in, just bringing it all in. And so I've been noticing, just as I've been going through kind of a little bit of a heavy time, following a family visit. I visited with my mother, and also some other members of my mother's family who I had not seen for a long, long time. I just touched into this part of my own family line that holds a lot of pain and trauma. And I've just been carrying it since, and I keep laying it down. I'm laying this down, laying it down on the earth, and then there's more, and I lay it down again, and there's more. And so just as I'm tuning into this Cancer new moon, I'm feeling the support and also the flow of the heaviness, the sadness, and the pain that's there. So there's also, wanting in all of that, I was feeling into this this feeling of inspiration that I've been getting from Tina Turner and her life, which is so just incredibly painful. And one of the things I really connect to in her life story actually is her relationship to her family and her experience of having not been wanted and not been loved by her parents, in particular her mother. She had a very strong experience of feeling unwanted and unloved. And how that's been something she's just worked with throughout her life in different phases of her life. And so I actually found some words from her that I want to share with you all. I'm going to bring in today the Dharma of Tina Turner. So we're just going to be with her words about her own practice. So this is all from an interview that was done by Andrea Miller at Lion's Roar magazine, talking to her about her life and practice. So the first piece I wanted to bring in, she talks about her connection with nature. And she's talking about love. So what she says is, when you don't come from your mother with love, so she's just speaking to this experience, her own experience of having not felt loved and wanted. So when you don't come from your mother with love, you might have the gift to be surrounded by other people or situations that are loving, and you learn to love in that way. My mother didn't want a child, so I experienced being unwanted. But I found love when I was with myself. I would go into nature, into gardens, and eat fruit. I would climb trees. I looked to nature and found love because love is in nature. If you go there, hurt and angry, it can transform you. I went with nature, with animals, and I found love and harmony. I would come home at the end of the day, braids pulled out, my dress torn, and of course I got asked, where have you been all day? But I had been in a world of love and happiness. I just found that so beautiful and moving and so resonant of my own experience as a child, and also in a family where I didn't feel loved and cared for. But I went into nature too and found so much holding, so much care and attunement and connection there. And I just love the way that Tina Turner talks about that. And just so resonant with, for I think many of us practicing with the 7 homecomings and with the homecoming and refuge of the earth. So then Tina also talks about chanting, and I think she really, this next piece I want to share is really her talking about this embodied practice, that this is something that we do with our bodies. So Tina says, each person has a musical song from their bodies. That is something I learned over time. You can play the tune of your own name, and this is the hum from inside of you that can give you peace when you are really down. My grandmother had a hum, never a song. She would hum sitting in a rocking chair, and I would listen. As a singer, I wanted to know what my grandmother was singing, but it was the song of her soul. This song I am referring to is about singing, being happy, enjoying music, and even when you're depressed, still singing. You must try to find that sound or song within you. You might find that it is just a ha or a hum or something in falsetto, but it is a sound which comes out of you that gives you peace. And she also talks specifically about the chanting piece. And she says, I feel that chanting for 35 years has opened a door inside of me. And that even if I never chanted again, that door would still be there. I feel at peace with myself. I feel happier than I have ever been. And it is not from material things. Material things make me happy, but I am already happy before I acquire these things. I have a nature within myself now that's happy. So just really, feeling very inspired by her practice and feeling very supported with her spirit. Now it feels to me like she found so much freedom in her life. She found so much freedom. And now I feel like wherever she is, she's truly free, truly free. She's at home, feeling all of the love that has poured towards her as one of the most beloved icons, musical icons of our time. am imagining her completely surrounded and taking in and soaking in all of that love and freedom. So just wanting to bring her spirit in today. And I'll share the link to the this article, this interview with her. Yeah, so I think with that, I want to invite us into some practice together, guide us in a little bit of connecting with the earth, and then we'll move into our mantra practice. So as we shift into some practice, I invite you, first of all, to just get comfortable or get a little bit more comfortable. I like to ask myself, is there something I can do to make myself just a little bit more comfortable? And as we move into the space of practice, I also want to drop in the question of why practice right now? Or another way to say it is, what are your intentions for practice right now? Knowing that there's no wrong answer to this question. And for myself, I feel right now very connected with my longing and intention for freedom, for myself, for my people, and for all beings. And you may have other intentions. And any intention we come with that brings us to practice is a good intention. And I feel for myself the ways that my intention, connecting to that intention and longing, is fueling my practice, is bringing energy into my practice. So just taking a moment to be with our intentions. And the next invitation is just to notice that this body is here, is present. And turning toward our sensations in whatever way feels available right now. It may be tuning into the next few breaths, maybe feeling the sense of contact, our feet on the floor, or our butt in the seat. Or it could be tuning into sensations like hearing or vision. We have a soft gaze and allow ourselves to come in contact with our sensations through vision. This turning towards sensations is a way to meet this present moment in this body. And we can be in choice about about which sensations, about how much we want to feel into the body. But in any case, this body is here, acknowledging it, meeting it in a way that feels like we can be present with this body, present with these sensations. And if it does feel comfortable, available to tune into the feeling of contact in our body. I invite you to feel the weight of your body meeting whatever it's resting on. It may be the chair or other surface, floor, bed. We might be standing up, we might be sitting, we might be lying down. However, whatever position we're in, there's some way that our body is meeting whatever we're resting on. And in that connection, we may feel pressure, weight, contact. And just feeling those sensations. We're really feeling into, in some ways, the earth element within the body. This substance, this weight of the body. We might also tune into our skeletal structure, just feeling that we have bones, that the bones are making up the structure of our body. Again, tuning into this earth element. And I next invite you to bring your attention to the earth beneath you. Wherever you are, somewhere beneath you is the earth. And even if our eyes were closed and we were spun around in numerous directions, when we came to stillness, we would know exactly where the earth is because it's tugging on us. Because this force of gravity is pulling us towards this vast earth body beneath us. This earth is holding us close. And in our whole long lives on this earth, it'll be right here holding us, never letting go. So just feeling this connection between our body and the earth body. We may feel it through this force of gravity. We may feel an energetic connection between our own body and the earth body. I often tune into that energy connection in my root chakra or at the very end of my spine, as though I had a long tail that reaches down deep into the earth. Or a taproot that goes down, 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 slipping between rocks, finding the water within the earth. Just feeling into this connection, however it shows up for you. And I invite also the awareness that the earth is operating in its own time. That the earth has been here for longer than we can possibly imagine. And whatever happens on this earth, it will continue to be here for longer than we can possibly imagine. So inviting a touching into this sense of the earth abiding, the earth existing in a very long, long arc of time. That's very different from our human time. And that here in our human bodies, existing in human time, we're touching into the earth, existing in earth time. And can we just allow that deep, slow earth time to have its effect on us in our human time. Maybe opening to the possibility that some of the urgencies of the moment just feel different in a different frame in this slow, deep earth time. And continuing to just touch into or cultivate this connection between our body and the earth body, feeling the earth's vastness. I also invite that if there's anything we're holding, carrying, that feels like too much, that feels overwhelming, engulfing, that it's something that we can lay down upon the earth. Just inviting this possibility that we can lay our burdens down upon this earth, which can hold the infinite. That we might lay our burdens down, that they might be taken into the earth, absorbed, that they might even be nutrients, compost, that they may feed other life and enter into the cycle, the great cycle of death and rebirth that the earth holds. And for any support or ease or grace that we've received in this connection with the earth and this practice, I invite you to offer gratitude. Just touching in and noticing, is there gratitude here for all that we receive from the earth? I notice this feeling of gratitude kind of feels like a balloon opening in my chest, pressing upwards against my collarbones, this welling up of gratitude. And if you're feeling this arising of gratitude, I invite you to let it spill over into the earth. That the earth will absorb this gratitude as well. That as we are receiving from the earth, so we are giving back, offering our gratitude from the abundance of gratitude within us. And if it doesn't feel like we have that abundance right now, it's okay. We can be planting the seed that it may arise in the future, knowing that the earth will be receiving this gratitude from so many directions. We don't have to feel that there's any obligation to offer gratitude here. We're just offering out of our abundance if we have that. And just coming to completion on this practice with the earth. I'm going to shift to the first of our mantras, the invoking, calling in mantra. And this is in the chat as well. And this first mantra is Om. Moment, I have to get back to my document. Om Menla Sangye Kino Soha. And this translates as Medicine Buddha. I pray that you know and look upon me. And just the invitation to shift that language to what you feel like you need from Medicine Buddha right now. Often I hold it as Medicine Buddha, please see me. See me. I'm going to recite this first mantra 3 times. We'll start with a longer Om. Menla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Menla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Menla Sangye Kino Soha. And move now to our main mantra of Teata Om Bekense, Maha Bekense, Ratsa Samangate Soha. And those words translating as, like this, I pray for the end of pain and suffering, the root of pain and suffering. And I release the energy of this prayer out into the world so that all may be liberated. So I'm gonna do this main mantra for some amount of time, then we'll do the prayer requests and then come back again to the main mantra. Again, starting with an Om. Om. Teata Om Bekense, Maha Bekense, Radzasungate Soha. Teata Om Bekense, Maha Bekense, Radzasungate Soha. Teata Om Bekense, Maha Bekense, Ratsasungate Soha. Teata Om Bekense, Maha Bekense, Ratsasungate Soha. Teata Om Bekense, Maha Bekense, Ratsasungate Soha. Teata Om Bekense, Maha Bekense, Radzasungate 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 Soha. Teata Om Bekense, Bekinze, Mahabekinze, Radzasum Gate Soha. Teata Bekinze, 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 Bekinze, Mahabekinze, Radzasum Gate Soha. All right, my voice is not have quite as many reps in it today as usual, but continue with the prayer requests and come back to the mantra. Offering prayers for my Sangha, may it continue and flourish, providing a safe and loving space for those longing for self-acceptance, awareness, and peace, supporting our community, the world, and all beings. Prayers for Ada, Orion, Kara, and Siggy for their well-being and for them to feel loved and respected in their gender identity choices. Hang on one second, I'm gonna get a cough drop. And you may continue with the mantra for a moment and I'll be right back. Sharon, see you.
May I support you by reading the prayer request and letting your voice rest?
That would be wonderful. Yes, please. And then I can get myself going again. Community.
So stepping into the prayer request and realizing that Medicine Buddha is still present with us. Prayers for my Sangha. May it continue and flourish, providing a safe and loving space for those longing for self-acceptance, awareness, and peace, supporting our community, the world, and all beings. Prayers for Ada, Orion, Kara, and Siggy, for their well-being and for them to feel loved and respected in their gender identity choices. Prayers for Kaj, and Susanna for their well-being and improved health. And I'm just checking to make sure you can hear me. Prayers for Ty and Miss Fernelli, Mary Mora, May Ty, to find a loving groundswell of support in Bhumi Sparsha tonight and always. Prayers for Carla and Francesca. May they be healthy, may they be well rested and have the love of their benefactors around them always. Prayers for good health, well-being, safety, and security. Deep peace, harmony, and liberatory abolitionist evolution for everyone connected to Bhumi Sparsha, including our venerable teachers. For Nima and Rishi, for Leanne, Kathy, and for me as I work toward finishing a difficult degree in MF Ivory Tower academia. May all beings and all realms be free and benefit from the blessing of my life. Asheo. Prayers of gratitude for everyone working to shepherd Bhumi Sparsha through the current transition time. May they find a way that is inspiring, sustainable, and nourishing. Prayers for quick healing of my sprained ankle. Prayers for those of us feeling heaviness and despair. Prayers for my cat, Mitsu, who entered the bardo this week. Prayers for me as I grieve her passing. Prayers for me finding a way to make money and a place to live. Prayers for the pets in apartments during these hot days and nights. Prayers for all unhoused. Prayers for my partner, that my partner may find a job soon. Prayers for smooth transitions in my job transitions and move across the country. Prayers for my estranged family members, that we may come to know each other with new appreciation and understanding. Prayers for my 3 small, sweet sanghas, for my Dharma siblings and their continued health and love. Prayers that I may find more spaciousness while I work with my anxiety. Prayers that we may all breathe clean air. Prayers that we may all have clean water. Prayers for my grandfather who is in the hospital again. May he receive the care he needs to come home soon. Prayers for everyone living through the extreme heat in the Southwest, especially the unhoused people without shelter. May they have the resources they need to survive. Prayers for all those who've been impacted by the floods here in Vermont. Prayers of gratitude for the outpouring of love from within and around our community. Prayers for the clarity and courage to let go of habits of self that are not rooted in love and liberation. May I choose love and freedom again and again. Prayers for all those who suffer with suicidal ideation. May they feel the warmth of our practice and be supported. Prayers of gratitude for Lama Rod and all the teachers and community here at Bhumisparsha. Prayers for my partner to feel good. Prayers for all of us with chronic illness and pain to find some brightness despite all that. Prayers for the planet and for all of us to learn to take care of our dear planet. Prayers for Cynthia and her health so she can continue to bring love, wisdom, and insight to the world. And for me and those who love her, that we can find confidence if her death may come soon. That we may feel confident if her death may come soon. Prayers for Susan and Larry for their continued health as mentors, therapists, parents, grandparents, teachers to so many. Prayers that I may be open to healing, to learning, loving self-acceptance, and to releasing what blocks liberation. Prayers for everyone living with chronic pain, chronic illness, and disability. Prayers for everyone who does not have the resources they need to live safely and comfortably. Prayers for everyone affected by flood, wildfire, heat, and other weather extremes. Prayers for everyone impacted by aggression and violence. Prayers for my recovery from ongoing household instability and chronic illness. Prayers of love and gratitude for all my teachers, sanghas, sacred texts, and friends who uplift my life and show me the way. Prayers for heartbreak, may we all be free. Prayers for safety for me and my baby, that Creator will bless us and bring me affirmation that everything will go well. Prayers for myself that I find stability while working with past trauma so that I can prevent my strong emotions from negatively impacting others. Prayers that I may find more patience and tenderness when interacting with my children and that they may feel loved and wanted. Prayers for myself. May my practice and understanding deepen so that I may be of loving benefit for all. Prayers for René for sharing his light. Prayers that our children and grandchildren may have decent lives in the face of catastrophic climate change and societal collapse. Prayers for me as I move out of a toxic relationship and back into my spirit. Prayers for Mother Earth and her creatures as Canadian forests continue. And I expect that's Canadian forest fires. Prayers for us all as we continue the fight for BIPOC, LGBTQ+, and women's rights.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for reading our prayers and knowing the Medicine Buddha is here with us. Let us continue in the mantra. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Te ata om bekinze, bekinze, maha bekinze, radzasungate soha. Thank you all for your prayers. And I'm going to read Shantideva's prayer 3 times. I invite you to read it along with me, and the text is in the chat. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach until the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach until the ends of space. And finally, may I be a protector for those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach until the ends of space. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, community. We are complete for Medicine Buddha for tonight, and we look forward to seeing you all next week. I think Lama Rod is going to be back. Okay. Beautiful.